Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Shit. My name is Barrett Courtney, and here joined with me are my two great co-hosts and even better friends, Henry Montiero and Ricky Baldazan. And here at Talking Shit, if you don't know, what we like to do, one of us brings in a topic of discussion, and we talk some shit about that topic. And today, we have a topic from a very special friend of ours, very dear to us, me, Barrett Courtney. My topic today...
Barrett's his own best friend.
My topic today is something I think about a lot, because I'm a very angry person all the time.
But why are they so nice?
I just remembered what your thing was. I like this.
I'm very frustrated all the time, especially with one of my jobs. I work for Instacart. I love Instacart, not trying to badmouth the company or anything.
Shout out to what makes Barrett money.
And I love what they do. I love what their business is about. But those customers, if you don't know what Instacart is, I drive around the city, deliver groceries to people who order groceries. And the thing that I hate the most is driving. And I don't know why I chose a job where I have to drive around the whole time. And I would say that driving around in San Francisco, and San Franciscan drivers
Are the worst.
are one of my biggest pet peeves.
Listen, if you want
And that is the topic of discussion today, is pet peeves. What are your pet peeves?
If you want to know bad drivers, just to go into a little bit of a branch
tangent,
there.
Yeah.
Dude, you do not know bad drivers until you go to Boston.
I've been to Boston before.
Listen,
San Francisco.
Dude.
San Francisco and Florida are tied.
I want to tell you a story.
This little story all about
When I went to Boston,
got turned up upside down.
this isn't about Boston. That's about Philadelphia. When I went to Boston, when I was coming from the airport, there were 8 lines of traffic in front of us. And suddenly, all at the same moment, I don't know if they made hands. It was like, hey, you want to mess with that? The tourist. Every person just suddenly in all 8 lanes switched. They all just switched lanes, at the same time. And I remember my dad being like, "What the hell is this?" But yeah, Boston drivers are.
No, San Francisco drivers are just straight up stupid.
You don't even need to drive in this city.
I do when I work for Instacart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we have buses going everywhere.
Okay, so my general topic though is pet peeves. What are some of your guys' biggest pet peeves?
Ricardo? When people call me Ricardo.
When people call me Ricardo.
I do it all the time.
I hate it when people call me Ricardo.
I do it because I love you.
I hate that fucking name so much.
Okay, Ricardo.
Stupid.
I think another one, for you at least, is being called Mexican.
Oh God. So there's this thing in our friend group where it's like everyone agreed, hey Ricky, what are you? Oh, I'm Nicaraguense. Oh, Mexican. No, I'm not that at all. No, you're Mexican now. It's the same exact thing with...
Wait, so what are you?
I'm Nicaraguense.
So Mexican.
Nicaraguense?
Nicaraguense.
What is that?
Nicaragua?
Explain it. Nicaragua?
Yeah.
What?
It's like the trip that they do for school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my family's from.
Oh.
It's there.
I thought you were from Florida.
No, my fucking dad's from Florida for some reason.
Classic.
For some reason, Florida's the place to be.
I just know that's one of your biggest pet peeves, so I want to bring that up.
Yeah, being called Mexican when I'm not at all. Another pet peeve, Florida.
Yeah, Florida just sucks.
Fuck you, Florida. Can you not?
They can't help it.
Let me think of some other stuff. Posers. Can we talk about
the real friends?
Complaining
posers?
about posers is sort of being a poser in and of itself.
How so?
Damn.
Because you're so worried about everything else, you don't really focus on what you are and stuff. So
No. But in the sense of like I know where I'm at, but I don't like someone changing themselves just to be relatable with me when I know where they stand as well. But I guess that's kind of making me a dick because I'm telling myself where someone else stands when they're a whole nother person.
when someone tries to adapt what they are to impress other people, so fakes.
Fakes. Posers. Fucking yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah.
And not in like a really cool like literary term kind of way. Just we're idiots.
Just we're stupid.
I
think you can complain about posers to a certain extent.
Yeah, like people who change their attitude and like their like perspective on life to impress a certain type of people is not
Barrett.
I know. I don't know, like I know you're trying to find something out there for your life, but you isolate a lot of your old friends. That's all I have to say.
It's like, for example, like being friends with someone and then like at least like with you and me, like we grew up like very punk, listening to the music, and now even in the age we are now, we listen to a lot of punk. I love being associated with the music because that's been a big, huge part of my life.
I don't want to be associated with this.
But then let's say like meeting a friend and then like friends saying like, oh, like they're like really punk and like trying to like, you know, like be connected with you in some way.
But like, then you don't need to do that. You know, like just be yourself. I wanted to hang out with you at first.
I like you for you. You know what I mean? I don't like you for the type of music you listen to. Like,
if I want to be a friend with myself, I'll just go hang out with myself.
Exactly.
And jerk off.
Exactly.
Like, you
know? But like you don't need to change yourself to like hang out with me. It's gonna make me not like you anymore. Yeah. Because you're gonna be me. You know
I don't want you to be me.
I don't want you to be me. I want you to be you.
I hate myself.
Like I don't want to just be with myself all day. I want to hang out with you and have
that sort of
listen
plays
to your
into,
opinion about
and
stuff
that's
and argue.
Sort of what like plays into relationships as well. I see a lot of modern day relationships where people change themselves and not like bad habits and stuff. There are like
it's called grease.
Shut up. There are like things that couples definitely do improve with each other, you know, but to change like who you are down to like the core to like better fit being in a relationship is just fucked up. Yeah. Just let it be, as the Beatles say.
They focus so much on trying to be
this
completely different person for the relationship.
I date girls who are way different than me, who aren't as interested in the things that I'm interested about, because I would probably get tired of the shit that I'm interested in, man.
You like Batman? Now I don't.
Dude, I like, and people do, like, we joke around like you and I would be like the perfect couple, but
no,
man, after a while, I think
we would kill each other. Yeah. You would end up being each other's sycophants, because it would be like, what movie do you want to see? Whatever you want to see. No, whatever you want to see. You'd never actually be able to go anywhere, and then you'd know that you want to say the same thing.
I sort of get into that with Alyssa, but it's more about food. What do you want to eat tonight? Whatever you want. Because literally but that's not because of like, we just want each other to be happy. It's just more of a,
I have no idea.
I have no expectations of what to eat and what food is going to go into my body, because there was a whole semester of college where all I ate was fucking Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
So I really have
He lost 10 years of his life.
I have no standards of what the fuck to put in my body, so that's why I say that. It's like, seriously, whatever you want to eat, like, I will eat it. I'm not trying to get you to admit that, like, I want, like, a certain type of food. It's just like, dude, I will just fucking eat anything.
Yeah.
My brain, when it comes to that, my brain is just like, I'm different because I order food with my dad. So it's like, he's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, you want Thai? And then if he says no, I'm like, you want Indian? And then you want Chinese? And then it's just like, let's just go get burritos. We have like 4 things for dinner unless my stepmom makes food.
Other pet peeves.
Well, you two did one. So is it my turn?
Yeah. What's a major pet peeve of yourself?
My major pet peeve, and I don't know if people are going to get angry at us for this. I hate it when people who are LGBT make it such a big deal about themselves. Yep. And this is coming from someone who's openly bi.
James Cameron does what James Cameron does, not for James Cameron. James Cameron does what James Cameron does for James Cameron.
just watching the
We were
James
just
Cameron.
watching the James Cameron episode from South Park, and that's what you're saying about like because I totally agree with that, because people who say they're LGBT and the like supporters and then brag about it are not doing it for LGBT. They're doing it for themselves.
Exactly.
And that's what the whole episode was about, like James Cameron fixing the world.
Right.
And people are like, you should tell people. And
The
he's
one
like,
where
no. Like
the one where he's raising the bar.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a great episode. But it's like, it just bothers me so much because, like, I'm bi, but I don't make it, like, a thing about me where I don't, like, where I'm just like, hi, I'm so bi, bye, and sync.
And just so the audience knows, it's not one of those like, oh yeah, gays can do whatever they want, but do it behind closed doors. So
Yeah,
I don't have to
we're
see
not
it.
doing that.
We're
It's
not
not
doing
like
that.
that.
It's not that at all.
That's not what we're talking about. It's about people using a cause and a community to make themselves seem like a better person.
Yeah, it's like, if you have, like, if you're gay and you have a boyfriend, do whatever, you can do whatever straight people do in public. Like,
And
if you want to just, like, sit on a bench and make out for way too long, do it.
right.
Because that's what straight people do all the time. If you want, like,
That's what
just
straight young people do all the time.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like using it to just like using it as like a crutch always bothers me, and being like, man, I'm so gay. I love being gay. Hey guys, have I mentioned I'm gay today? That's the shit that bothers me.
Just be a person, you know? Like,
don't make a thing that's
people like to define themselves as their sexual preference, and you need to realize that's not how you define yourself. Yes, we support you in like what you want to, like what your sexual preferences are, but to have that define you as a person it's not right, you know?
like that's what I hated about high school, because if you were LGBT half the time, that was all you would ever talk about, as that was you. Like, there was this kid.
Hey, how's being gay? Oh, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, there was this kid in my, there was this kid who I knew in the GSA who was, like, openly gay. That's all he would ever talk about. He's just like, man, look at all these hot guys. Man, I sure could go for sucking a dick. Like,
and it's like, and people will say like, oh, well, straight people do that all the time. I don't ever say that shit. You know, like,
When the hell are we like
What-
ever doing that?
Exactly. We're talking about nerd shit like Batman and fucking video games and shit. Like,
We have other shit to do.
we have other shit to do. Like, yes, we like women, and we're comfortable with that, and we're comfortable with our sexual preference to the point that we don't need to fucking brag about it.
But you know what the thing is?
And that's something that, like, when you get down to the core, like, are some of the people who are out as gay, like, are they still not, like, I'm not saying that they aren't gay or they're pretending to be gay, but, like, when they brag about that kind of thing, are they still just not as comfortable with being gay, so they feel like they need to put on that front? That's just a question. We don't have to go further into that.
Are they trying to be like that, like in their way, a strong figure of the movement? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys, I'll do whatever I want, but I'm
exactly.
gonna, but like take it to that extent. Also, I think this goes in the same category as, and I might be pushing it, but
You're going to be pushing it.
I'm going to be pushing it.
We're sorry if we offend anybody here.
we'll put a little We'll put a little like link to like skip over whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That this goes in the same category as like, and I'm going to go into subjects of like racism and religion, just so everybody knows.
All that shit is a major pet peeve of mine. We're
Yeah.
in fucking 2015, people. Get with the fucking program.
We're like when it, at least like I know where like me and Barrett stand on religion, where we don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that we hate it, but we hate it.
Yeah, and it's...
So you're atheist, not anti-theist.
No, I'm personally
I hate
agnostic. You know, like I believe that we do come from something. Again, I do, even though there's the warning at the beginning of what is it? Dogma. That like, none of this is like real or whatever.
The movie, the Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, the Kevin Smith movie. But the part where who's the comedian in that?
I do think we all come from Alanis
older guy.
Morissette.
No, the African American guy.
Oh,
Richard Pryor?
No, he's like one of the he was like left out of the Bible. He was supposed to be like one of the wise men. Chris Rock.
Oh,
Yes.
He talks about like at the beginning they talk about don't take this movie seriously, but I do take this part with like sort of like I do hold on to that part. It's like the religion has it wrong, you know, and it's they try to like fraction it into all of these places and structure it, but it's about having ideas of like bettering the like human race and stuff, and that's what I like hold to myself, you know, like a lot of religions I think and how they bring out themselves and all this stuff are just not the best thing, you know, and I'm not saying like you're terrible people or anything. It's just it doesn't make sense.
We have
to
no
me.
problem with religious people.
Yeah, like the Shimoda is religious, and you know I respect her
That's
for
her
that, and
thing.
she respects me for my beliefs.
If you have your religion and it's just like I'm religious because it gives me this sense of like purpose in life and it gives me like this motivation, that's fine. But if you're like I'm Christian and I hate everyone who's not, I'm using it to forward my own
hatred of
racist, homophobic,
Yeah.
transphobic, misogynistic ideas.
Yeah.
Then you're just an asshole.
You're just an
it's called
asshole.
being a fucking asshole. And again, there's that sense of like we think we know that like we have to come from something. There's something there, but why the fuck do we have to join this certain thing, or we're gonna fucking like get banished and get all these stupid, ridiculous fucking things. Why can't it be like maybe God isn't real? Maybe like this is happening. Maybe it's this about ideas and like actually trying to work together and like figure it out.
It's that conservative like set of minds where you don't question anything. You don't further of new ideas. You know. And something I do want to talk about religion is a big pet peeve of mine in general is people came to America to find religious freedom and the whole big thing of separation of church and state. Then why the fuck is there so much church in the state? God bless America. Like
in God we trust.
In God we trust and all of this stuff.
One
It's
nation
like,
under God.
One nation under God, and like what? What do you guys not see that most of our government, or not most of it, but some of our government is still being influenced a lot specifically by Christianity?
We've never had a like in some way Christian president. When John F. Kennedy was openly like non-Christian. Like when John F. Kennedy was like, I'm a Roman Catholic, people got pissed at, and they were like, he's going to be influenced by the Pope. He's going to listen to him instead of the government. Like
when it's really like the people saying that are the ones who like are abiding by the church and not like realistic fucking shit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I think. Fuck. We dig ourselves too deep with this one.
No, this is a good topic though.
It's always been, at least like with our friendship, it's always been a reoccurring subject where it's just like because of how frustrated we get over it, it always comes up at one point or another where it's just like what the fuck is that? Mm-hmm. What is that bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, here's another thing to me. Why don't we have churches pay taxes? It would help with so much of our money problems.
Yeah. Again,
because it's like we have church where it's like, oh, churches don't have to pay like property tax, but it's like if we had churches pay taxes, we would have so much money in like we would have so much extra money with like our tax services. It's like when it's like when Colorado was like, hey, pot is legal. They had so much extra tax money that they just started giving it out to people.
Yeah.
And that's what... If that happened with pot money, imagine what you would get with, like, money from churches paying taxes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We would finally be able to afford good schools.
Right.
And that's why, goddamn it.
Going back to driving.
It started off from driving.
And
Went
we just
into, like,
started, religion! Gay people!
I hate when you're I find this a lot. Recently too, like within the last month, this has happened to me several times. You're at like a red light, and you're like the first person, and there's like a couple of people behind you. And the second it turns green, someone honks at you. Go! bruh,
Give
me
it
a
literally a millisecond ago just turned green.
Yeah.
Fucking calm down.
Yeah.
Dude.
And it's not like I'm waiting hella long. I'm usually like pretty on it when a light turns green, but it's literally the moment it switches, like beep, just like fucking calm down.
Dude, if you want to know like pet peeves about driving, just ask my mom. My mom is like,
We'll have a very long discussion about that. I
And
know
by
for
the way,
sure.
just so the audience knows, if you're honking at Barrett driving, you're probably fucking ridiculous because every single time I've been in the car with Barrett, me and him are always like, "The fucking let's go.
I'm on it.
Let's go." Like
I'm on
we're
that
trying
shit.
to get
oh,
to
you
our
know what's the
destination
worst
as fast
driving?
as possible.
You know what's the worst driving? Those people who just stay still until it's like the 10, 9. Like when it's yellow, those are the worst. Do you ever deal with those?
What?
Like people who just sit in their cars, like when they're the first people at the intersection, everyone's waiting behind them, but they just don't go until like the last second.
Well, they're doing that because they're trying to turn, and you have the oncoming traffic, and they can't turn until it basically turns
Then put
red.
your blinker on. They never put.
Yeah, people don't use their fucking blinkers in the Bay Area. It's fucking.
Blinkers are
It's
important.
public decency and it's common courtesy to use your fucking turn signal. Because it
Also-
hurts my fucking brain when you don't use a turn signal. You are killing me slowly inside when you don't use a turn signal. I've almost gotten into severe car accidents because people don't use their fucking turn signal.
PSA: use turn signals.
Can I say one coming as like a San Francisco kid who takes?
Hold on. Fucking bicyclist.
Oh my
Stop.
God! Yes.
Stop.
Bicycle.
You don't own the fucking road. And also, since you share the road with us, stop at stop signs and stop at fucking traffic lights. Because when I've respectively stopped at my stop sign and there is no one at the intersection and I start going and then you speed out of fucking nowhere, I'm going to be the one who gets in trouble. Not you. You'll be dead. And then I have to fucking pay off all of that shit because your family will fucking sue me. Don't do that. No, I'm fucking furious at bicyclists and people who defend that kind of shit.
Can I tell you a joke?
So mad.
Can I tell you a joke, Barrett?
What?
Why shouldn't cyclists defuse bombs?
Why?
They can't tell the difference between red and green.
Damn.
It's fucking right. All right, Ricky.
Listen, I come from a family of bicyclists, and I hate bicyclists.
Just coming from like a San Francisco kid standpoint who takes Muni and BART all the time.
Yep.
If the train arrives at the station.
You don't need to press the...
Oh wait, I'll get to that one.
yeah.
I'll get to that one too. So, if the train gets to the fucking station, and you want to go in, there's people who want to also leave.
Leave.
Yes.
They
And-
force that on BART now. I've been noticing that. But it's bad at Powell. When I have to go work at Vans, it's fucking bad. Like there's...
They have people on BART like lining up now.
Yeah.
You want bad? During my senior year in high school, so in case you don't know, the main bus line to Lincoln, the 48, also stops by Hoover. And so when I would get on that, if I was late to school, since middle school start later, I would have to get on the same buses with Hoover kids.
Yep.
Middle schoolers never let anyone off the bus before they get on because middle schoolers are inherently the worst people.
Yeah, they are.
And also another thing that bothers me, middle schoolers love doing this thing where if you're sitting in a seat on a bus, they love being right next to you with their junk right next to your face. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
They love doing that.
I love not being on the bus at all because I own a car.
Okay, so
But I do have to commute to Vans, which is never too bad.
and then two more things with like taking public transportation is when
you're in a station, let me explain this. Okay, so we have trains in San Francisco, and so
It's how we get everywhere.
At some point, they go underground, and you have like your underground stations of Powell, Van Ness,
Montgomery,
Embarcadero, all that stuff, and then they go like overground, like the L and the N go throughout Sunset, and they're not underground; they're like on the street, and usually on the street, sometimes they won't open the door, so you have to press a button to do that, to open the door like for yourself.
specifically a bar.
Yeah, and there's the button to get on, and then there's a bar to get off. There's a bar that you press to get off, and
Or like one of those pulley things.
Well,
that's to request the stop.
Oh.
But also,
Okay.
also that as well. But finish.
Yeah. And so when you're so that's when you're on the street level. When you're in a station and the doors haven't opened yet, and you keep banging on the thing to open the door, that's not gonna work. And here's why. And I don't understand why people don't fucking know this. I'm going a little deeper, so I understand what I'm about to talk about isn't as well known. When they go underground, they can't control when the doors open. It's someone else at a hub controlling the doors. When they're like on the street, that's when they can control it. But they can't control that.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you haven't noticed any other doors opening yet, and you keep banging on yours, they're gonna open eventually, dude.
You're at the station. They all open at the same time.
You're at the station. They all open at the same time. Stop.
Admittedly, sometimes I do that, but
Jackass.
that's just because I get really stressed being in like a really small area, like a train, and I just go, I need to get off here. I need to hit something.
Another thing, when you're about to get to the station and you see the one guy pull the request stop, you're going to the station.
Yeah, when you're underground, they stop at every fucking thing.
you
It's
think
not
the-
like they're gonna skip Powell.
Yeah, you think they're gonna get to Powell and just be like, oh,
No.
there's no one in here for once. No one's trying to get off. Fuck you.
It's people who do the it's always the old Asian ladies. I'm not being racist. It's a fucking fact. They always they do it several times. They like do it like 20 times.
Because
in a
the
row.
first one didn't work.
That's how they do their paleo.
Oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
Last thing. Oh, got it. I just remembered. I lost it for a second.
I thought you wanted me to say one more thing. I was like,
No,
I don't
no.
have anything. Do you have something?
No. Another last public transportation one I'm gonna do. So you get on the bus, right? Actually, this is a twofer. You get on the bus, right? You're getting a little crowded. Bus driver goes, "Hey, can everybody move to the back?" Everybody's like, "Eh,
We're already.
we don't speak English. We're gonna stay in the front."
Why do you sound like Hank Hill right after he got out of like a dentist visit and they put like a Novocaine in his teeth?
But I also, I hate when people don't move back when he does request.
That's the worst.
But also, when people have already moved back and the whole bus is full and he keeps saying it, there's nowhere else to fucking
that
go.
also goes for the bus driver as well. Like, it's full. How about you start?
You have a
jumping
mirror.
people-
You have a fucking mirror that looks all the way back at the bus. Use it.
How about you start dropping people off and not picking people up so it can get a little easier to be in this fucking bus?
You know what? You know what always bothers me on buses? Last one we'll have about public transportation.
No, I still have a
So,
whole another part.
But say
to mine.
yours. Say yours first, Henry.
Mine, when like parents on buses give like each of their kids like an individual seat, especially when they're like super small kids. It's like you can fit two of them on one.
Or you can hold your kid.
Oh, there's something that happened on a public transportation thing. It wasn't really about it, but it sort of was. So there's like a group of kids who were going on a field trip, and I was like behind where you're supposed to save the seats for disabled and elders.
They always put them in those goddamn seats.
And there's a group of kids, and like only like two of them are in like they're not on like the side ones. They're still like facing forward. It's like the first row where that starts. And one of the kids, he has like his feet on like the little bench. It's not like his whole foot is on the fucking seat.
He's resting on
Yeah,
it.
he's like just sort of resting. This old woman comes on, and she sits. She's like on the opposite part of the bench, and she looks over and she lectures this kid about you can't have your foot on the seat. That's disgusting. One, he's not bothering you. Don't. Who the fuck are you, lady?
Yeah.
To do this.
Is he like 7?
He was like 7 or 8, and like I don't think any of them, from what I was hearing, spoke English, or like much of it,
Yeah.
And
Was it like an emergency?
then there's like this old like Asian or not Asian, this old white lady who's like, I own this fucking train for some reason. She was like looking at this kid like lecturing on him like you can't have your seat on the fucking seat, like you're bothering me. He's like, And I was just like, lady, you're not even close to this kid. He's not touching you in any way. Fucking let it go.
Oh, and him resting his foot on this bus is making that weird fucking smell. Excuse me, but his foot on the bench is making that weird fucking smell that's always on the bus. You know, it's a public bus. This is disgusting already. Deal with it.
That's disgusting.
If you're
shit underneath.
if you're worried about germs while getting on the bus, save and get a car, get a bike, something, because it's a public bus. I'm sorry, but
You shouldn't have that many big expectations.
yeah, you're already taking the bus. You don't have any room to be picky about the situation.
Well, most
Deal
people
with
have just flicked dirt over it. People have spilled soda. Probably during the night buses. Some teen couples probably just fucking in the back seat.
Oh, I have some great, interesting stories about those.
Oh boy.
Second part.
Not from personal experience, but
No.
My second part.
Your second part was your second part.
So also back to the bus getting crowded and people being stupid. Buses getting crowded. I look at all the fucking seats, and you know how they have the pairs of two, right?
Yeah.
One person in that pair, one person in that pair, one person in that pair. You're just sitting next to somebody. Fucking sit down and fucking make this easier for everyone here. Or hey, have some courtesy and take your shit off the seat and let someone sit down there.
I usually just stand in the corner because I don't like being near people I don't know because it scares me.
No. It's understandable to a certain extent, but if it's getting really crowded, just sit down.
It's common courtesy, and people don't know that shit anymore.
Well, yeah, if it's crowded, I sit down, but if it's there's not a lot of people, I'll just be
And then the other part, and last one I'm going to do about crowded buses, because I really hate crowded buses,
Who doesn't?
29.
I like
Back doors open, right?
Yeah.
People are getting onto the little space that we have left on this crowded bus.
Mm-hmm.
We get a couple people on, and then there's always that
One
guy.
fucking dude, and you've been sitting there for
guy.
2 minutes. There's always that one guy when the back door closes, and he's like, "Oh shit, this is my stop."
Oh, I wasn't saying that.
And then he constantly
But
yells,
that's-
"Back door, back door."
No, see, what I was going to say was all
that one guy.
and then there's that one guy, trying not to be racist, but that one guy who comes on the back of the bus and the doors won't close. Maybe because it's full, you should get off and wait for the next one.
Yep. Because there's the way some of the buses work. When you're standing on some of the steps leading to the door, they have a sensor. If you're standing on those, the doors won't close.
Or even the back doors for the buses have bars, like the ones for the trains that you push and the doors open, so that he's trying to squeeze in, but his back keeps getting hit by these.
It's always a fucker with a backpack who's the last one to get in there too.
Stupid. Stupid. It's is
Sometimes-
everyone dense?
Yeah.
You know what I think would be great? What if backpacks had what they had? What if not backpacks? What if buses and trains had what airplanes have, where you can store your backpack for a bit, in a little.
I would not trust that shit.
People would steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
See, the cool thing
gonna
about
take a risk.
airplanes, you can't go anywhere if you do that. It's oh, they stole my thing. They're getting away. Oh, wait, they have nowhere to go.
They jump out the plane. C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. I think that's a good place to.
No more pet peeves. Oh, we can probably do another whole.
We
thing
could probably
about
do a
this.
whole other episode of pet peeves. We probably will at one point, but we need to wrap up. We're running a little long.
We are.
So thank you for joining us for this episode of Talking Shit. Today we talked some shit about pet peeves. And again, my name is Barrett Courtney, and here joined with me are my two great friends and great co-hosts, Henry Montiero. Ricky Baldazan, I think, is going to the restroom right now. And if you have a topic of discussion that you want us to talk some shit about, please tweet at us at Bayazona Gamers. At Bayazona Gamers, you can tweet at me at BananaLordChong. You can tweet Henry at Henrysaurus. You can't tweet this non-existent person right here because he's a basic bitch.
You can tweet Seven if you want some technical advice.
Yeah, of course. Seven
Morris.
At Seven Morris.
7 Morris, but the O is a 0.
The O and Morris is a 0. Yeah, if you ever any technical questions ever of how this show just looks so
He was trying
beautiful.
to do a business of like doing podcasts and stuff. So
Exactly,
If
so-
you need like a podcast set up for like sound,
Hit up our
message-
tech guy. He's a great guy. And
Okay,
if
we
you
need money in this family.
and if you don't understand Twitter, if you're just like I don't get it, you can email us at BayZonaGamers for all at BayZonaGamers@gmail.com for all inquiries, concerns, questions, and until next time, have a great day full of shit talking. Thank you.
Hold on.
Too late.